Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. All right, well, good morning. Welcome back to Northport. The next project on the list today is this Winnebago Vectra. Got a 6538 in it. We're going to be getting into it here in just a minute. See what's going on with it. Customer states it's not cooling correctly. So let's get going. Welcome back. Let's open this up, and that's kind of what we're dealing with right there. And that looks like it's gotten into that wiring harness pretty good. So we're going to go in here and investigate this and see what all's going on. So you can see I've got the unit already washed out and cleaned. It was pretty nasty. I did go ahead and update the wiring on this where that PTC had gone nuclear and, melted a little bit of the wires, but they're still good. It did get the freeze sensor on the inside was all melted, so we've changed it out. I've actually run this unit for just a couple minutes. Amp draws was good. The lines were freezing up good. So just got it out here, got it all washed, just kind of letting the sun dry because I'm going to obviously put some spray paint on that coil like I always do, and then we're going to take it back in the shop here and plug it up and see what's done. Good morning. Got a tour in here in the shop today that's got 6537. Customer states it's not cooling correctly. Let's go over here and take a look at it because I've got it running, and we'll take a look at some amp draws. I had this unit running for a couple minutes, and circuit 2 is an amp higher than circuit 1. I can look inside there and see one of the lines is froze up, and we've got some air leaking tremendously out of that right there. This unit doesn't look like it's ever been out, so we're going to go ahead and pull it out, do a clean, because that could be a coil that's real dirty or nasty. And then we're going to check these caps out real good because that low amp draw very well could be one of these caps. So we're going to pull this out and give it a good bath. All right, we got the unit all washed up. Now this was all plugged up. It was this thing, we've seen some that have seen better days, but you can see how much water this thing had been holding over time. So that's a little bit of an issue. Now, one thing that I was noticing when I looked through the hole when this thing was running, this line was freezing up, this one was not. The amp draws obviously are off on compressor 1, so we're going to check the caps here in just a second. I am updating the outdoor fan bearing as we speak, and then we'll put that back in there and run it. Right, so here's where we're at with this unit. This is compressor 1, 606. Compressor 2 is basically 7 amps. Now, notice how much this thing, I'm going to take this one screw out right here. I want you to notice how much this thing's vibrating. Now, the other thing is, look at our differential temperature. We've been running barely 17. That one right there, it's been running for a little bit. It's about 21, 22. But look at that. This fan motor is vibrating like crazy. Now I'm going to open this thing up and show you guys because I just barely have the cover sitting on here because I've had the covers off 4 or 5 times already because I'm going to show you what the issue is going on here. Now, I want you to look and see, look how much that fan motor's vibrating. That blade's got a problem. But what I want you to see, this is circuit 1, this is circuit 2. See how circuit 2 has absolutely froze up? So when we go into heat pump mode, those equally freeze up, which is normal because coil size obviously is bigger, smaller. It changes the flow. But see how that line, system 2, is absolutely froze up? Something in this circuit, you can see we're sweating real good right there. Something in this circuit has gotten trash in it, and that Bi-flo valve is plugged enough that it's freezing. See how the other one's sweating, but it ain't froze up. There's a problem in that Bi-flo valve. So we're going to go in here and change that Bi-flo valve out. I mean, this thing has been running, but it's barely making a 17 to 20 degree differential. But you can see there's obviously a problem in that circuit right there. So we're going to go in there and change that Bi-flo valve out and then retest this. Right, so I've got this one all buttoned back up. Now remember, this one here was about 1.5 amps off. Now we're at 791. We're at 756. So what we found out is we had a plugged up Bi-flo valve. And so let me get out my thermal imaging camera, because I'm going to show you on the camera, because when we first did that, from here up was red and there down was not red. And let me get a good draw on that camera right there. But what's happening now is it's all equal. There we go. See how equal it is all the way across the top and the bottom now? So we've got good heat between the top and the bottom now. So yeah, just a plugged Bi-flo valve, had some trash up inside the little filters in there, but yeah, got that going, and yeah, 30 degree differential on that one, so she's cranking good now. This one here is ready to go back in, but that bracket had rusted off, so we had to go in here and weld a piece back on that to get that ready to go, but this unit's ready to go back in. All right, so I got the unit running in here. We got the thermometer up here in the upper vent, and that right there, folks, is 22 degrees. So yeah, this thing's cooling great now. Yeah, this one was a little tough one because, again, of what the Bi-flo valve was doing. It was really, you know, it's kind of tricky to troubleshoot that one just because of what it was doing, because it was running, but yeah, Bi-flo valve was plugged up, and then we had that outdoor fan blade that was wobbling real bad. But it is done. So good temps on that. Ductwork turned out really good on that. So yeah, they're done and finished up, and they're going to pick it up in the morning. So there you go from Northport. So this 46516, you see I've got it opened up. It does have a bad compressor. This right here is the thermal expansion valve assembly that I take out of this, because that's no longer available through Coleman. And I'm not a real big fan of those anyways, because this is what we're going to put in its place, is a Bi-flo valve, which solves a lot of problems we got going on there. So I've got that one out, and I'm going to go ahead and fit this in its place, and then we're going to get the compressor swapped out. So got it all back together. Got the you can see, went from thermal expansion valve to a Bi-flo valve. Got everything back together, pressure tested everything, just trying to get the vacuum down on this thing. We're down to 650, so we're getting close. But yeah, close to charge with this one. Project here in the shop is this 06 Prevost bus that we're going to do upgrade on ductwork. There's the return, and this is all discharge. Yeah, so this is on the driver's side, which is very, very challenging. So let me take you down here and show you what we got. So we're up underneath this driver's side. Now this is obviously the return right here, and this is the discharge. And so the challenge is we got to come off there, come across the top of here, up and down, so we can put our return right here. So I'm just trying to get everything prepped down here at the moment. That's a little update on this ductwork. As you can see, I've got that in. We've got the return, the discharge is ran. The return, I've got some foam in there. Pretty much got it in there. It was a lot of work to fabricate around that, because this was different on this model than it was on the 04. So I had to do a little bit of work back there to make it work. But yeah, I've already fit the unit in here. Just waiting on that foam so I can cut it, because there was some wiring that came through right there and over there that are making this a little bit more difficult, because that wasn't on the 04 either. So working on getting that done, and then the next thing to go in here is this elbow. So working on that now. All right, so we've got the ductwork all changed out on the driver's side on this bus now. Yeah, it had 22 degrees differential up in the ceiling. Now there's a little bit of issue, like we got great airflow in the very back, great airflow in the very front, and it's marginal in the middle of the bus. And you know, that just comes back to, you know, I equate it to like a balloon that's got the end blowed out in it. You just blow through it, you can't ever stop the air. You know, Country Coach never had any kind of louvers or anything on that side that would regulate. You know, you could slow the air down to try to build back pressure to get more air on the out through the vents. Now the passenger side was great. We had 21 degree on that. So yeah, that one's doing really well. We had a little bit of an issue with the drain on the passenger side. We went ahead and pulled that back out this morning. This is actual pan I pulled out of it, and you can see it's broke. So I actually had one of these. So we put a different pan in that, and then put the unit back in, and got all that done. But yeah, that was a little bit of a nightmare. The plumbing that you got to run the ductwork above, the plumbing was sitting higher than it was on the 04 that I did. So I had to cut the ductwork down 3/4 of an inch to make that work correctly. So it took me a little longer than I wanted to get that done. But I mean, we had to modify it. It is what it is. But he's done. Got him all finished up. That thing's cooling great. And again, if this side ever has to come out, literally 15 minutes to do that versus several hours of pulling it, reworking the ductwork, doing all that. Literally can have that out in 15 minutes. So yeah, so he's all finished up, and yeah, he's fixing to leave out in the morning. 46515-811 that came in. Customer state that the compressor number 1 was locking up. Now I'm going to show you what we found down here, and this is pretty common with some of these. See how the tubing was rubbing right there? Rubbed a hole in there, and it ruined this compressor. So we're going to go in here and get this all changed out, and then get a new compressor in it, and then get it all washed and clean and ready to go. All right, well, that's going to finish us up here this week in Northport. As you can see, we had quite a bit going on, and yeah, it's been fun. I mean, the Winnebago with the Bi-flo valve was a little challenging, and then of course the Prevost. Anytime you do duct work on the driver's side of a Prevost, you're going to have a good day, because there's a lot involved in doing that. So next week I'm going to be off. I got some family coming down. I'm going to spend some time with them, and then I'll be up in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee for 2 weeks. Got several things scheduled going on up there. We're going to be up there working. So there you go. So we'll see you in a week or so. Thanks for watching. Yeah, next video should have Cousin Gary in it. So there you go. We'll be back to seeing him. Y'all take care. We'll see you. Bye.